Hello, greetings curveballs, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Lisa and I am the Curvy Cuban, and I like to dupe palettes, do artistic eye looks, and an occasional collab where I get a little crazy and inventive. Today's video is starting off a new series that I have about monochromatic makeup. I do brightly colorful eyeshadow looks and people are constantly saying, oh, I wish I could wear color, but I just don't think I'm cut out for it. I don't think colors look good on me. I always tell people to start off with a pop of color in the waterline and go from there. So if you've experimented with a little bit of color in your waterline and then you'd like to move on to the next step and you don't know how to mix multiple colors, monochromatic looks is where it's at. So you can take one color, 3 different shades, or even one shade. If you want to just throw one shade of green on the crease and then put a shimmer on the lid, that's a look. I'm going to show you my step-by-step method of doing a monochromatic makeup look in this video. This is what I have come up with. So if you too would like to see how I came up with this look, then you should just keep on watching. But before you do, don't forget to tap subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads, and throw me a thumbs up if you like the color green. And you have to like green, because what would we do if all of our lawns were purple? Let's get into this video. The first thing to think about whenever you're doing a monochromatic look is to go lightest on the inside, darkest on the outside. Looks good not only just to smoke out the eyes, but also you always want to brighten the inner portion of your eyes, especially if you have deep set or hooded eyes like I do. And I've been really wanting to do a green chromatic look. I can do a wearable green with like army greens or more neutral type greens, but I am going with bright. So I'm going to start off by using my Violet Voss Bright Vibes palette and dipping into the shade Aerobics. And I've already primed my eyes with my P. Louise base, and I am just going to apply some pigment with my fluffy Farrah brush on the inner portion of my eye and just swirl it. Today's look is going to be so uber simple. There's not going to be any cut creases involved, although you could and make this look really poppin', but I am just going to show you the simplicity of creating a monochromatic look without having to be extra.
And I just like to swirl this all around, blend, blend, blend.
Next up, I'm going into my Be Perfect Carnival XL Pro palette by Stacey Marie, and in there is a shade called Ecstasy, which is the limest green you will ever find. And I want this to be the highlight of the look. So I am just gonna swirl this all over the center using the exact same brush. I feel like the bright green just goes with summer, even though summer's ending. It's still hot out enough to wear some brightly colored looks. I thought about starting this monochromatic series in order of the colors of the rainbow, but I don't know, I was just in a green mood today, so I'm starting with green. Circular motions back into the front color to blend that together. And in the same palette, there's a shade called The Hype, which is a green. It's like a true, like Kelly green. And I'm gonna pop that on this outer corner here. And circle it around. Now, I like my eyeshadow to sweep in the outward direction, so I'm just gonna take this brush and kind of dust it at a diagonal. Have that shadow just kind of fade away. And if it gets a little messy, no big deal, because I still have a little bit of foundation on my brush, and I'm just gonna go up in the angle that I want it and just clean it up a little bit. I don't have any problems with fallout with this palette. And if you do have a palette that has some fallout, then you could just switch to doing your eyes first. Now I'm gonna concentrate it more on this outer corner, the darkest green, which is called The Hype. And this is when I'm gonna go back into Ecstasy. I just have like a little brush cleaner. I clean off my brush in between uses. And I wanna bring back that lime all the way across. This brush is perfect for monochromatic looks. Dab and blend, that's all I do. We have another shade in the same palette called Nuke, and it is darker than The Hype, but it's more of a tealish shade. And I'm gonna take a smaller brush and I'm just gonna put that right here in this outer corner and kind of go with the shape of my socket to give the whole look a little bit of dimension. I kind of do it with my eyes open so you can see where that shadow's going. And if you have your eye open and you do it, run it through the socket, it kind of blends it for you. I'm gonna use the same brush and go back in with the height and blend the edges where that teal color meets. Doesn't look harsh. It's gonna marry those outer shades. Going back to my original fair brush, I'm gonna blend that outer edge a little bit more. Have all the color fade away. And kind of angle your brush up and then down to get that triangular effect. Then I'm going to dust it off in my color switch to where there's not a lot of pigment on there, and I'm just going to go along the edges to diffuse the edges. And I'm going in with a shade called Fair Play in the Stacey Marie palette. It's a highlighter, but whenever you have some green on your brush and you dip into it, it gives it that green hue. And I'm just going to apply that in the very inner portion to add that light. Then I'm going to add a little bit underneath my brow bone. Going back into the shade Nuke, the dark teal, I'm going to kind of whip that around the lower lash line. Want it to have this C shape with this shade. Up over the socket, down along the lower lash line. Adding a little bit more height, that Kelly green shade, to the outer corner. If you're doing a monochromatic look, you can go with a colored eyeliner. Like I have this ColourPop lime green shade, which is, what is the color? I don't know, the name of it's worn off, but I got an entire pack of all the colors of the rainbow for ColourPop. You kind of have to warm it up on your hand before you use it. And I don't know if I want to go with this today. I also have a darker green called Teaspoon, also from ColourPop. And I'm gonna apply this just under my waterline because it will help the shadow that I put on the lower lash line stick. I'm gonna reserve my actual waterline for black liner. Let's go back into the shadow and we're gonna grab the shade The Height. And blend that in with Nuke. And then the inner corner is reserved for Ecstasy. So you just want to grab 3 colors, the lightest, the mid-tone, the darkest. Apply them lightest to darkest from inner to outer corner. Match them up. And then I take my fluffy blending brush and just blend that lower lash line. So it just fades nicely into the skin. Next up, the shimmer shades. Now this is normally where I would cut the crease and have a nice dramatic cut crease, but we're on a time crunch and we're gonna go with simple. So I have my Take Me Back to Brazil a Rio Edition palette, which has every shimmer in the rainbow that you can think of, and it's got a range of greens from lightest to darkest right here. And I'm just gonna go this on the inner, this in the center, this on the outer corner. We're going with the lightest green on the inner corner, and I'm pretending to cut the crease with this shadow. I'm just going with the shape of my arc there, the socket, and I'm just going to apply this shimmer on the inner third of the eye. And then I'm going to go in with the next color. They don't have names, it's just shades, so the next deepest shade. Then the next. And then finally in the outer corner, there's a darker green shimmer that kind of matches that tealish shade that we put in the outer corner. Now this palette does give a little bit of fallout, so I am gonna brush that away. liquid liner, I'm gonna be grabbing my NYX Epic Wear Waterproof Liquid Liner in black.
I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe.
And for lashes today, I'm going to be trying out a new pair of Kiss lashes from their Lash Couture Faux Mink collection, and it's called Gala. They're very wispy and pretty. Should look really good. I'm gonna trim these down, put them on, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am loving these lashes. They're so pretty and wispy and elegant looking. I'm just gonna grab my Laura Mercier Caviar Volume Mascara and coat my lower lashes. Now, the only color I'm gonna use that is not green, I'm gonna dip into a little bit of Lights Out, which is a black, and I'm gonna pop that here in this outer corner to kind of marry the eyeliner and where the mascara is on my lower lash line. And I'm just gonna do teeny tiny little circles.
We are heroes tonight.
And come up into the socket to blend it in with the green.
We will fly above the sky. We are heroes.
But that dark shadow on the outer corner just makes your eyes look so sultry. And that is the eye look complete. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face makeup, and we'll be back for the final look. And the final completed monochromatic green look from the Curvy Cuban.
Like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town.
Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed learning my methods in creating a monochromatic makeup look. Check me out in the future because I'll be releasing one for every color of the rainbow and then some. And check out my other videos down below if you like what you see. If you have a particular color that you would like to create a monochromatic makeup look and want to see how I would do it, drop it down in the comments below. And until next time, my friends, stay curvy and stay clever. And I'll see you in a week. Bye.